Good evening, everybody. This is the second day in the war between Israel, United States, and Iran. Today, my guest is a very important person, old friend, and a real activist, academic. He spent in the Iranian Islamic regime jail 6 years because he was one of the famous young activists who started the revolution, which we called it in Egypt in that time, the Green Revolution, 2009. My guest is Sayyid, and I mean to use the word Sayyid because the man deserves to be recognized as a Sayyid. If you don't understand what's the meaning of Sayyid, in the Shia tradition, he means he's from the family of the Prophet Muhammad. And Sayyid Mehdi, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Ahmed. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you very much for emphasizing on my article, Sayyid.
The situation needs somebody understand what's really is going on the Iranian front, and today we can call it the Iranian front. The 1 million question is this is going to end as a regime change, or this is just a war to make the Islamic regime in Tehran reformulate itself or reform itself?
Yes, as you said, it's a $1 million question. It's very important. When you monitor the situation, 2 weeks ago, there was lots of analysis that they believed if the war happened, the intention would be on putting pressure on the Islamic Republic and mainly hardliner to accept the reform and reformulate their doctrine in the Middle East and also regarding the USA. But nowadays, what's going on in the field with the bombarding the all chain of command of Army, Revolutionary Guards Corps, intelligence, but also riot police and police in Iran, we can understand this is something much more than imposing the Islamic Republic to be reformed. And many of Iranian people believe that regime change would be ahead of them. And also Donald Trump, I think that was in this morning, said that he's intended to change the regime.
When the world, and especially the Arab world, hear the word changing regime, everybody get worried. It was not a very successful story in Syria. It was not very successful story in Iraq. It was not very successful in Egypt. Not very successful in Tunisia, and of course Libya and Sudan also.
Of course, you're right. The fear is not only among the Arab countries, but also till a few months ago, many of the Iranian afraid of the regime change because we had a kind of the bad experience in 1979 after the toppling the Shah. The clergy came in power and theocratic regime kind of hijacked the revolution. But nowadays people work on their demand on the transition and the opposition, especially after Masajina Amini. They try to have a clear goals and agenda for what would happen to us after the Islamic Republic. Now, nowadays, many of millions of Iranians accept the leadership of Reza Pahlavi as a leader of the transition phase after the Islamic Republic, and many of the Iranians believe that under this leadership they could transit from the Islamic Republic to the democratic and liberal structure and the state. And I think
what exactly United States and the Iranian opposition inside the country and outside the country will do in order to avoid any of this Arab Spring sad ending of the stories?
Before answering your question, I should say that the Reza Pahlavi never said he wanted to come back to Iran and rebuild the monarchy in Iran. He said he wanted to come back to Iran and being leader of the transition phase and provide the situation for election. And then during the election, the Iranian people would vote for whether they want to have a republic or monarchy. This is the very important matter we should consider about that. About the monarchy, we should bear in mind that in Iranian history and culture of the Iranian for 1,000 years, two institutions built pillars of power in Iran. The first one was a monarchy, and the second one was a religious institution. After the 1979, for the first time, the religious institution toppled the monarchy and came in power as a one single institution for ruling the country. And many of the people believe that Reza Pahlavi was in exile for a long time. I should inform them, I should tell them that also Ayatollah Khomeini were in Iraq for more than 14 years, and most of the people forgot that the clergy named Ayatollah Khomeini is in exile in Iraq until 6 months before the toppling the king. Then media and also international community tried to create a charismatic leader from the Ayatollah Khomeini to avoid the leftists come to power. Then it is very important. But during those years, which Reza Pahlavi
and also Khomeini came directly not from Iraq, he came from France.
Yes. 6 months before the revolution, he traveled from Iraq to the Paris and Neufchâteau. Yes. And Reza Pahlavi has always connection with the people in Iran. Every year he sent the New Year statement, and he was not apart from the Iranian people and not forgotten prince in exile. That's very important. This is very important to keep it. And the third matter is, apart from, contrary to the Afghanistan, Syria, and Libya, precisely, Iranian people still have their own agency. This is very important because the United States and coalition power, except Taliban, took power again about 4 years ago. I can't remember what exactly the date, because the Afghan people has no agency, as the same as the Syria. There was no.
And when you say agency here, what do you want to exactly refer to?
Yeah, what I mean exactly that Iranian people can control their destiny. Their destiny. They can control the street. They can come. They have a unity together. They support each other. They are main player of the situation in the field also. I'm pretty sure that if anybody want to control the power in future in Iran, they should convince people that he or she is a very reliable person and they can control the situation. And it is impossible to send somebody or bring somebody to the power without permission of the Iranian people.
President Trump, although Benjamin Netanyahu is telling the world through the media, they're talking to the Iranian people and says, be ready, we will give you the sign, and then you will go to the streets. If this is exactly what will happen, or nobody will appear in the streets of Iran.
I should mention to what happened last night in Iran when the people heard the news about the killing of the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Many people came to the street and celebrate the death of the dictator.
We saw some videos, but it was not representing a lot of people.
Yes, because many of the people is also still grieving. And they are still waiting for a call of the Reza Pahlavi, because before that, Reza Pahlavi and also the Trump tell the people, don't leave your house, stay inside your house because we are working. And many of people listen to that and accept to stay on. It's very important because for the first time, contrary to the last time that Israel attacked Iran, many people prefer to leave Tehran. And the National Security Council of the Islamic Republic, the last time told that there is no necessary to leave the Tehran. But this time, the National Security Council released a statement and asked people, it's better to leave your city and go to the suburb, And many people on the social media, Twitter, Instagram, said they are talking together, they are thinking together, and that they want to do something against our will, and we prefer to stay in our city. We will not leave our city, and we are staying for what the Reza Pahlavi will say to us. Yes,
Okay.
It's very important.
Okay. Another question everybody's asking, who's running Iran or the Islamic Republic Iran today?
Today, based on the constitution, after the death of the supreme leader, the council of the leadership would shape. This council has a three member. First one is the president, this Mr. Masoud Pezeshkian. The third one is the head of the judiciary, Mr. Mohseni Ejei, Hujjat al-Islam Mohseni Ejei. And the third one is from the Guardian Council, a member of the Guardian Council, that's Mr. Hujjat al-Islam Arafi. I should mention that Hujjat al-Islam
Ali Arafi.
Yes, Hujjat al-Islam Arafi is a hardliner. He was a student of the Ayatollah Mesbah Yazdi. Mesbah Yazdi usually recognized as a theoretician of the violence in the Islamic Republic. And Mr. Arafi was the first director of the Jamatul Mustafa. Jamatul Mustafa main goal was to representing and spreading the Shi'is in the Middle East and North Africa.
Before the Al-Quds election.
Yes.
So the regime is trying to rebuild itself.
Yeah, they try to rebuild itself, but it's hard. Because
people is mentioning Rouhani, people is mentioning Mushtabi Ali Khamenei, and people also is mentioning Ali Larjani. What's the rules between, if they are gathering in a meeting, who's taking the final decision?
Actually, I should mention there's lots of rumors that Mojtaba Khamenei, son of the Ali Khamenei, was killed, but there is no officially say that it's happened. But there's a different scenario. The one scenario that's Hassan Rouhani, former president of Iran, tried to took power and being successor of the Ali Khamenei. He played his propaganda, his lobbying from 2 months ago, and publicly condemned the policy of the Ali Khamenei inside Iran and in the region. And another scenario that maybe Ali Larjani as a political head, and with the director of the parliament, Ghalibaf, as a body of the army, who has a control of the body of the army, could have shape a coalition and took a control. And they send the message to the Trump, as Trump said, to want to reconcile with each other. Many people talk about that, but the Iranian people will not accept, because they say there is no difference.
What do you think? What do you think they are going to offer to President Trump if they are going to talk to each other again?
Actually, they can offer anything till they stop the Islamic Republic from falling. Such as there is no, of course, there is no nuclear program anymore, but also they will offer, they are limiting the missile program and also escalating with the US, also recognition of the Israel. But what is important, how they wanna rule the country, you know, because if they could not control people or convince people, massive social unrest would happen in Iran. That's very dangerous for a big country with a big population like Iran, and nobody in the region would be satisfied with that.
The economical situation in Iran now is very bad, and actually, it's in the worst scenario since ever. Maybe never happened in the history of Iran. The dollar met the real in this level. $1 is now how much reals?
Mm-hmm. The last time what was about 2 million
Oh
real,
my God.
about 2 million real, but also inflation rate is more than 60%. And many people believe that if there was no war, that's hard to control the situation by the Islamic Republic more than 1 year, because people could not handle their dire economic situation. They prefer come to the street and die and lost their life than to stay at home.
Okay. So, the future generations in Iran, we see a lot of young people dancing.
Mhm,
Are these people supporting which political groups? I see Kurdish groups. I see, and I can recognize the Kurdish groups. I can recognize also the Jama'at Mujahidi Khalq
mhm,
groups. I see Reza Pahlavi groups, and I see also some leftist groups.
mhm.
Who is going to bring all these people together in order to control or establish the future of Iran?
Actually, I should say that the Kurdish parties in Iran, mostly they are regional uh, parties, only in Kurdish region, not all the
Yes.
Kurdish region. And regarding the Mujahideen Khalq, they have almost zero social population, social support, because they background, they are Islamic Marxist group, and due to their background to the as a tourist, and they're recognized as a terrorist group, they have no social
Terrorist group, not tourist group.
terrorist.
Terrorist.
Yes, of
Yes.
course,
Okay.
terrorist group.
Okay.
They have no social acceptance. The main political icon or figure which have support of the Muslim population from different generation is Reza Pahlavi, because as I said, the role of the monarchy institution historically in Iran, and also because many of the Iranian has a good memory from the Pahlavi era, social stability, economies flourishing, and they have a good memory also built by the media during last years, and also on social media many Generation Z support Reza Pahlavi. They share the national flag, lion and sun. And yes, I think no one can gather the social support more than Reza Pahlavi in Iran.
Actually, a lot of people is asking the question: are the Iranian people, this old history country, old cultural country, accepting to come to live in a regime coming on the American tanks? The American will open the doors for Rida Pahlavi or whatever future political regime.
Mhm.
Is will be accepted culturally from the Iranian people?
You know, the question would be clarified, because what I said about Reza Pahlavi, I didn't mean that Reza Pahlavi would come to the country by the foreign countries as a puppet, you know. As I mentioned about the Iranian agency, that was the Iranian that brought Reza Pahlavi or select Reza Pahlavi as their leader. At the street, at the beginning of the protest in Iran, Iranian from inside the street called for supporting or for Reza Pahlavi and named Reza Pahlavi as their leader. It is very important. But the role of the American, Israel, and European Union could be as a supportive measure. It's very important to categorize the role of each agency in this game.
So a lot of Arab people, Egyptians, seeing the demonstrations of the opposition and the exile Iranians everywhere in the world, large oppositions, large demonstrations, but they can identify easily that there is an Israeli flag is always there. They see the new flag, the old flag to be renewed again, which is the lion and the sun in the middle. And they also see a lot of communication among the Israelis abroad and the Iranians abroad. How would you explain that?
This is a very good question because also in Germany it's very weird. The only diaspora who carry lots of Israeli flag in Germany are Iranian diaspora. I should mention that it's not mean that Iranian only support the Israelis and what they do against the Palestinian. We should translate in the different meaning, in different way. When the Islamic Republic support the Palestinian, if they support, and Iranian try to oppose what's every values of the Islamic Republic, everything that is important to the Islamic Republic, they try to oppose them. Then in oppose the Islamic Republic, they prefer to carry the flag of the Israel. This is the first definition. And the second one is that because Israel's, especially during the administration of the Netanyahu, spends lots of energy, media attention, and money, lots of resources to gather attention of the Iranian opposition, and they win. They could handle that. I think the most of the Iranian opposition prefer to have a support from Israel, even not only Reza Pahlavi, but also the Kurdish people, Kurdish party, and also Mujahideen Khalq. Mujahideen Khalq, during the revealing the secret atomic site in Iran, has a close collaboration with the Mossad. And also we saw Israeli flag during the referendum in Eqlim, Kurdistan in North Iraq during the Barzani when they held the referendum. You know, Israel play important role to support the opposition, every opposition in the region, and they could handle that. But we should mention, I sent the message to the Arab people. We are not, Iranians are not against the Palestinian. We support them. We understand the suffrage of the Palestinian. We understand how they suffer from the discriminatory policy and how they marginalize in their land. But at the same time, Iranians are against any action of the Islamic Republic, which brought in intervention to any other land like Palestine, like Yemen, like Syria. We are opposed against the Islamic Republic policy toward the Middle Eastern country.
Okay, thank you very much, Sayyid Mehdi Khouday. And actually, I was very happy to have this interview with you. I'm sure during the long war, we're going to have other meetings and other interviews. Please stay in contact.
Thank you very much. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you very much. Have a good evening.